You found the STIHL National Championship Air Races presented by Reno, Tahoe.
Now there's race 76 and Dave Holmgren. That's the one we looked at just a minute ago, and race 76 is a ultimate 10-200. So there's 3 aircraft in this heat that of our 19 total, all 3. I was mistaken earlier. All 3 of the aircraft that are not pits are in this class. So we're excited to have that. 16 pits specials. We got 1 ultimate, 1 Christen Eagle, and 1 Canary Hawk, and we get to see examples of all 4 of those aircraft type here in this race today, Tommy.
Very exciting racing here. Very challenging for these pilots. Of course, your sight lines, your vision. You don't have one wing to deal with. You've got 2, one above you and one below. That complicates things.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's really important to, again, we talked about the start in the 4-second intervals, but once the aircraft gets airborne, the visibility does come into play, Tommy, and we're going to do 6 laps. We're going to do a starter lap or an oil warm-up lap like we just saw in Formula One a few minutes ago. So the second time they come by the home start-finish pylon is when the laps will start counting. So 6 laps for these guys, and just like Formula One, they can jockey for position as they go. And here you can see on the runway, they're in 3 and 2 and then 2.
Pretty tight specs for these racers here. They have generally the same power requirements and compliance. Let's talk about the rest of the specs with our class president for Biplane. We had a chance to sit down and talk with the known racer, Eric Zine.
So the biplane class is I think one of the more fun classes. The barriers to entry are a little bit lower. Just the planes are not as expensive as some of the other aircraft on the field. It's mainly pit specials and mongs and things like that. So they're aerobatic biplanes. Some of them are fairly stock, some of them are highly modified, and the speeds range from 140 to 250 miles an hour.
Again, Eric Zine, the class president. He'll be racing during the course of this week, as a matter of fact.
Great shot of our front row there, Tommy. You can see the red flag is still up. You see the green flag laying on the ground, and in our front row, we can see, led by our top qualifier, race 6, Jeffrey Lowe and Miss Diane.
Alan Hoover and Nicholas Kelikaitis round out the top 3. Scott McDonald, race 247 and slow roll. Tom Martin, Mike Stewart, and Dave Holmgren, race 2340 and 76.
This ought to be exciting, Tommy. These aircraft, when we saw them flying earlier in the week in some of the qualifying runs, very closely matched. And you look at the qualifying speeds here especially of our top 4 or 5, are very, very closely matched. So we are race 76. Dave Holmgren doesn't have a qualifying speed yet. He had a little bit of mechanical issues earlier in the week, and so he may well come from the back and just blow by these folks. So we don't know
he's
yet.
He's a free radical out there. He can come up and do anything.
So you're going to want to keep your eye on every one of these airplanes as we go around, and we have such a fantastic camera crew here, Tommy supporting us, that does a great job, and they're going to get all of these aircraft in front of you for the viewers at home. You can see now the pit crews are exited the runway, and some of them are still doing final preparations there, and you can hear the power coming up on some of these aircraft. What the pit crew does here in the start, you can see the gentleman there at race 22 is holding down the back of the airplane just to help with, like you talked earlier, they're kind of awkward on the ground, they're a little short coupled. And sometimes when they run the engine up like that, it helps to have the pit crew hold the back end down just to make sure it doesn't nose over or the wind doesn't blow. These aircraft are much more agile than they are, they're fast, and they are definitely the quarter horses of the racing world here at Reno, for sure.
Every time we thought we had that fixed, but
just a little ripple of a breeze out here. Of course, our biplanes are the most susceptible to the wind. They got twice as much, think of the surface, twice as much wing surface as an equivalent single wing airplane of that size, but conditions just about perfect right now.
Yeah, they are. Look at the beautiful clear skies today, Tommy. Not a cloud in the sky, and temperature is perfect. And what a beautiful shot there, and that paint scheme on the Christen Eagle there in the background. Good comparison there. You can see how the Christen Eagle's a little bit bigger. It's taller. And classic paint scheme. That was the paint scheme that the Christen Eagle came out with and made famous by the Christen Eagles back in the 80s and the 90s. A 3-ship aerobatic team that performed together at air shows. So not only a home-built kit that you can build and still today buy and build in your garage, but made famous by Charlie Hillard and Po Barenzi and Gene Soucy back in the 80s and 90s. So spectacular airplane, and like I said earlier, it was built designed to compete with the pitch special. The pitch special really did dominate aerobatic competition, especially throughout the 70s and 80s. And today, it is still very competitive, even in lower classes.
Talk about all the traditions, all the heritage dimensions of most of our classes here. Some of them, though, like Formula One, and of course the sport class also have technology that's pushing out against the ragged edge of what's available in terms of speed and maneuverability and raceability.
Well, you see the red flag is up, Tommy, and now you see the pit crews are definitely off the runway. The engines are running. We're getting close now. The adrenaline's coming up in those cockpits. You can see them beginning to cycle some of the flight controls. See the elevators and the ailerons begin to move. They're just making sure everything's good. They're thinking through, mentally. You see a lot of folks mentally go through like a gymnastic routine or whatever. Pilots do the very same thing in preparation, especially in racing. You're thinking about your race line, about what that pylon looks like in the turn. And all of those things are going through their minds right now. And these class, just like Formula One, they have fixed pitch props. So the start is going to be important. The ones that get off quick in higher gear, you see them go here. Remember, they're going to depart in 4-second intervals. And here you see our front row coming off the ground right now, Tommy. The race is underway.
Race number 84, Alan Hoover, obviously set up for a quick start. Top qualifier, Jeffrey Lowe, though, out in front as that front line gets up in the air, and followed by Nicholas Kelikaitis. Qualifier number 3 in race 22, the red plane.
Absolutely. There you see them headed for pylon number 1. Start that first left turn. We have a great shot here from our pylon cam out in the desert. As you see the racers come right over the top, you see race 6, Jeffrey Lowe leading the way there as they come around over the top of our camera.
Lowe and Hoover in race 6 and 84. Then 2 top qualifiers, a good bit different distance between them and the rest of the field in terms of qualifying speeds. But when the bell goes off and we're in a race, anything can change.
Yeah, absolutely. So now you see the importance begin to take effect, Tommy. We talked about the fixed pitch prop earlier. Either going to give you a quick start, or you might pick one that's going to give you better high-end speed. And now's when that high-end speed's going to start to take in. You might have taken off a little slower, but it's going to come around to catch up. And you'll see some of our racers begin to catch up and begin to make a move on the person in front of them. Again, here at Reno, to make a pass, the aircraft in front has the right-of-way. They've got the shorter course, and they're going to pass on the left. Here we see our leaders, Tommy.
All right, and they are actually beginning the first of their 6 laps, official laps, right now. We had that first lap just for oil warm-up and sort of settling into the racing protocol, and we are ready to go now. And out front, Jeffrey Lowe, race number 6, Miss Diane, our top qualifier in the lead.
Yeah, and you can see race 84, Alan Hoover and Panther right behind him. They really are not that far apart, Tommy, and really what I think Alan's doing is he's getting a sense of where Jeffrey's going to go. What's his line going to be around the pylons? He's assessing him up. You hear a lot of that in NASCAR and other kind of racing, and that's what he's doing here. He's looking to see how fast am I, where can I go, where can I get some clean air, because flying right behind that aircraft, it's turbulent. That creates a little more drag, so you see him set up a little bit outside, a little bit above. And again, they're talking to each other on the radio so that Jeffrey Lowe knows he's back there.
Look at that shot as they come around, getting ready to head through the home stretch here. And Alan Hoover not giving much.
No, look at that. Here he comes. He's fact, he's overtaking him, Tommy.
Going to have to go around on the outside, preferably above. So he is not quite past Jeff Lowe at this point.
Yeah, he really made a run on him there, but don't forget he's, like you said, on the outside. It's the longer way around, so it takes a little bit longer. And Jeffrey Lowe's got the advantage, and now as he's heading around pylons 2 and 3, you can see that advantage taking effect, and Jeffrey Lowe begins to pull back out in front there. Good shot from our pylon cam. And there they are now headed down the backstretch. Tommy, again, they're on our 3.5-mile course here on lap number 2, and they get to 2 sections on the home stretch and the back stretch where the aircraft they get the wings level, and then they make a slow sweeping 180-degree turn, and it's not really slow. They're actually doing upwards.
Yeah, they're moving on.
Yeah, but it's a nice smooth turn, and that's what I should have said instead of slow. It's a smooth turn around the pylons, and a great shot there. Here you see very tight racing between race 84 and race 6.
Yeah, Alan Hoover really hectoring our leader, Jeffrey Lowe, staying right on his wingtips there. These two have they made it all about those first 2 positions in this race so far. Again, this is race 1B. This is silver class racing. Jeff Lowe has spent a lot of his time racing in the gold class, in the A class, and he's looking to move up based in part on his performance here in the first race in the B class.
Yeah, absolutely. And just if you saw it there, Tommy, as they went down the home stretch, they passed race 40. in the Canary Hawk, and so they are beginning to lap the field, but very, very tight racing. You can see Jeffrey Lowe has a little bit of an advantage in the turns. I've noticed his aircraft is pulling away when they're in the turns around the pylons and in the straightaways. The race 84 is beginning to catch him, and Alan Hoover seems to have figured out these final 3 pylons here at 4, 5, and 6, and he really gains on Jeffrey Lowe coming into the home stretch. Tries to catch him on the home stretch, and then Jeffrey Lowe again pulls away in pylons 1, 2, and 3.
Jeffrey Lowe able to maintain that very, very small lead he has over Alan Hoover, and as you say, he's got it in the straightaways.
There's our Kristen Eagle on the backside in race 247, Tommy, and he's following race 76 in Rudolph. That's Dave Holmgren, and some great racing going on there as well. And that's coming down the backstretch, and they're headed into pylon 4 right there, starting their left turn.
6 and 7 positions right there. Back to our leader now, race number 6, Jeffrey Lowe from San Jose, California. We just can't quite put the shake on Alan Hoover in race 84. Very, very tight stuff here.
Yeah, absolutely. You could throw a blanket over both of these racers, Tommy. And Alan Hoover really has made a couple really good runs on him, and I think he's just setting him up again, trying to get a sense for, he tried to get around him and trying to figure out, okay, where's he going to make a mistake? And he's definitely poised to pounce. If Jeffrey Lowe makes any kind of a mistake, Hoover's going to jump right past him. It's a great view right here, Tommy, as they come by the start-finish home pylon, and Hoover, again, starting to creep up just a little bit towards him.
Has a harder time doing that, as you mentioned, in the straightaways. Easier time up it. Now he's got a little altitude here, so that's another sign that they're poised to maybe do something, maybe gain a little altitude, and lose a little altitude and gain some speed.
You can see both our leaders now coming into the shot. There's the red and white pit special. Both of our leaders are lapping some traffic, so they both had to climb to pass on the outside of that aircraft.
Yeah, just went past race number 23, Red Squirrel. Jeffrey Lowe hanging in there.
Yeah, he's doing a good job. He's just not pulling away. Hoover's right there on his tail all the way around. But these 6 laps sure go fast, Tommy. I mean, it is just excitement all over the race course.
Yeah, we're about to get the white flag for our 2 leaders right now.
And here they come. Look how close they are, Tommy, with the white flag, and here Jeffrey Lowe and Alan Hoover. Boy, that is tight.
Tighten it up just a little bit. Alan's going to have to slide to the right. He can't go inside. But he can stay down under there, and man, he is not giving up. This guy is tenacious. He is a bulldog.
Yeah, they are doing their best. I mean, they are both doing everything they can to try to find an advantage there. You can see Hoover trades a little bit of speed for altitude, but he's going to dive down coming down the backstretch when he gets to wings level. The drag is reduced, and he's going to try to accelerate and see if he can catch race 6 and Jeffrey Lowe.
Now the clock is ticking. They have half a lap yet left to go. Jeff Lowe continues to pass the slower traffic.
Yeah, there you see our Canary Hawk going by, and here you see our leaders passing slower traffic as they head into pylons 4, 5, and 6. And this is the white flag lap, so here we come to the checkered flag this time around. And you can see the slower traffic, and there's just a lot of congestion. It's very tight. It doesn't happen anywhere else in the world, Tommy. This is so exciting.
So here we come. Jeff Lowe, he's just got to hang on there, bring it on in. He has done the work, put in the work, and he gets the top spot in race 1B for Biplane there. Unofficial winner, Jeffrey Lowe, San Jose, California, race number 6, Miss Diane.
Man, that was something, Tommy. That was a race. I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
You know, and so many factors came into play there with passing the slower traffic and our leaders having to maneuver around that, and Hoover and Lowe, I mean, just it was back and forth, and Hoover just was on his tail the entire race. So exciting.
If you like that tight racing, your prospects of it in the biplane class are much better this year because we don't have a dominant aircraft. There's race 22. It's Nicholas Kelikaitis, nice and easy, started in the 3rd position. So you can see how much separation there was between our front runners and the rest of the field.
What a beautiful airplane. Now, I mean, just look at the lines of that airplane. Here he comes, leveled out on the home stretch, headed for the start-finish line in the checkered flag. Beautiful airplane in race 22. Nice and easy is that aircraft.
766 to your course.
Race 76, I believe.
Yep, race 76 just finished. He's our last racer on the course, so that one's in the books, Tommy.
Yeah, that one's in the books, unofficial as yet, but we'll give our tentative congratulations to Jeffrey Lowe, one of the outstanding figures in the last few years of racing here at the STIHL National Championship Air Races.
Tommy, here we go. Let's look back at the race here. We see Jeffrey Lowe out front. That's the first couple turns as he heads into the backstretch. You can see race 84, Alan Hoover, right behind him. And here they are making the turn, and this is where it really started. You know, the prop selection and the quick departure sort of played into it, but both these aircraft, once airborne, were closely matched. I mean, look how close it is here coming past the home pylon.
Alan Hoover never given an inch. Just lost a little bit to Jeffrey. Seems like in every straightaway, just a little bit. He couldn't quite gain enough to get it back and hang in there neck and neck.
And you really saw the rules play out for here at Reno, where it is so exciting to pass. You have to pass on the outside, and that played into Hoover's ability to get around Lowe.
Sure,
I mean, and here it is. You can see here he's making another run. Look at the acceleration from race 84. But when they get to the turns, he's just got that longer route to fly around the outside, and Lowe was able to do all the right things and hold off and stay in front. Here you see another great close race here between race 76 and race 247.
Kristen Eagle, great to see that part of the tradition in biplane here for the past couple of decades.
Yeah, that ultimate bike, you know, in race 76. And then here we see our leader again in Jeffrey Lowe, race 6. Just a beautiful airplane, and here you see him accelerating right across the start-finish line there. And there's the end of the race where they pitch up to land, and man, that was exciting, Tommy.
Absolutely. Woo! Jeff Lowe. When you go wire to wire, you get the cleanest air, you get the shortest race course, and Jeff Lowe made full advantage of that. Unofficially in first place. Second place, Alan Hoover. Race 84 in the Panther, Dave Holmgren. Number 3 was a little bit back, but pulling it in there. And Rudolph Scott McDonald, race 247. Tom Martin, race 23. Nicholas Kelakaitis, race 22. And Mike Stewart in 7th place, race 40, gone full boogie.
You're watching the STIHL National Championship races presented by Reno Tahoe. You'll find the full show on Fox FS2 and FS1 from February to July.